So I'm going to talk about
Hey, what's going on
how they're
YouTube?
sharpened,
All right, we
how it
gonna do a
deburrs,
fixed angle edge today because
a
one of
little
my
bit about
subscribers, Aaron,
how
asked
it
me
is in use
to
and
do more
carry,
fixed angle content.
and we'll go ahead and compare it
So
to
that's what we're gonna do, and
the
we're gonna play with
AD15.
some stones that a lot of
So I
people
did
overlook.
agriculture
But
testing on this. Now, go ahead and get this out of the
excuse
way
me,
now.
they're very good.
This is ground
These
a
this is
little
a
bit
Boride
thicker
ruby
than
stone,
the AD15.
60 grit,
So this was run at
very
17
aggressive
degrees
stone.
per side. Didn't want to go any lower
Steels
than
up to about 62 HRC, and that don't
thick,
have
but
much
a
beyond
couple more degrees,
chromium
it would
carbide.
definitely thicken up quite a bit.
Absolutely
So
fantastic stone
17 degrees per side on this 20
for,
CV.
fast cutting.
So we'll go ahead and get the cutting
So we're
out of the
gonna
way.
set this bevel
and
at 20.
Then we'll come back and talk about all the
This is
different
on
stuff.
D2, and this knife actually punched at 61.7. So, nice hard D2. We've already got the system set at 20. Let's get going. This factory edge was at about 22.5 per side. As you can see, these stones are very, very friable. Very, very fast cutting stones. They do require being lapped frequently, just because of how friable they are. But because they're so friable, they cut really, really fast. Once you get over about 62 HRC, they don't cut that well, and about 64 is about all they'll handle. Personally, 62 that's it. I'm not going to use it on a steel harder than 62. Anything in the 60 to 62 range is fantastic. The abrasive size in them is very, very, very consistent. You won't get no deep gouges with these stones. And aluminum oxide stones are sadly looked over nowadays.
So I did sharpen it a few
Everything
times.
is, diamond, CBN, 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 CBN. And while, I'm in that boat too,
and then we'll talk about everything
and I much prefer diamond or CBN.
So on the first test,
I still have a place
third edge,
for really good aluminum oxide abrasives and really good silicone carbide abrasives. In fact, some of my very favorite stones to sharpen on are like the Gritomatic 6 stones.
So I went ahead and sharpened it again.
Those thick bench stones are fantastic.
1500 grit, 631 micron, 5 passes per side.
Need to work on his back. The
The
Gritomatic 6 stones are absolutely good stones. I really like them. I've liked them for many years. Both fixed angle and the bench stones. They're very, very capable stones. And they're so consistent.
I know with my 15 Demco,
they're very good stones. If you're a freehander, you really should have a set of the Gritomatic 6 stones.
Did say I could run this at 15
They're
degrees
great.
per side.
They cut nice and
The
quick.
price
And
of this, I'm not going to make
you
it
know,
any
they
bigger
leave
than it is.
high-end water stone like scratch
In
patterns.
use, it
They're,
did
they're,
perfectly
they're very,
fine.
very good stones.
Have no issues with how it performed in daily cutting. I know some of the people in the comments have talked about
but don't look like I'm
250 feet is about what they like to see for something.
Yeah, it is.
I agree with that.
Bird full
This
length.
dropped very nicely. So I had zero
Yes, we
problems
do.
in the 4 days that I did carry it. No complaints whatsoever with it. No problems.
We're gonna finish this
If this
edge
was my
on
own knife, I also probably would not drop
the
it below the
edge
17
pro
degrees.
aluminum oxide stones. We're gonna go
wasn't too
220,
big,
400 grit.
But
Finish
it
on
would
the
definitely
400.
grow if we dropped it down some more. So,
You guys see?
works just like any other video you guys have seen. Super easy to operate, left-handed or right-handed. And something I found interesting.
These CH knives, believe it or not, they're not bad.
Very long.
For budget knives, they make some really good stuff. I really like some of their designs. Their D2 is consistently done well. I don't know why you don't hear that much about this brand. They actually do a damn good job.
That day and actually started looking at it. There's a huge reason why. We'll talk about the grip area. It's pretty much identical in size. And to note, I can't say how close the cold steel 8010 is to the actual Demco, but the 8010 has the exact same grip area as both of these do. Now, when you stick these on top of each other, you can see there is a slight difference, but they are so close that this feels pretty much like the AD15.
And you can really, you should be able, from this angle, you should be able to see just how friable these stones are. They release abrasive very, very quickly.
The clip, because it's almost the identical clip, just a different way of mounting, feels the same way when you're holding on to
And
it.
you see it building up on, yeah, you can see it right there.
Big differences in this would be obviously the lock here. However, no matter how you're using it, now if you were to use this as a quick replacement, yes, this lock will dig into your hand right here.
I'm not super concerned with my scratch pattern on this stone because I'm going to do the 220, which will quickly clear up any of the scratch pattern from this stone.
One other notable difference is, while these are very close in
That
weight,
should be set.
the AD15 feels much more balanced when you're holding it in your hand. It feels like you have as much weight hanging off the front as you actually have in your hand. The AD20, however, to me, feels very blade heavy. Not a bad thing, just something to note. And on top of that, while they are very close in position, the AD20 does ride just a little bit deeper in the pocket than the AD15. I find that this has a whole lot more swing in my pocket
Grind's off right here.
than
The edge angle's quite a bit different right here. The edge termination.
as you can see.
Work on that spot for a second.
This rides about here in your
Make a
pocket.
few passes and then blend. That way you don't get, you don't get no
You can see it
antique face that's cut in back here.
Not even maybe an eighth of an inch or so. Just something worth
It's
noting.
more critical with diamond stones, but
Now,
it's still very critical with,
I really did like this
you know,
knife.
any coarse, fast cutting stone.
I did want to get one. And I'm not saying that I won't ever get one. However, because it feels in use so much like the AD15,
That should be
I just
good.
don't see the reason to pick one of these up right now. Perhaps in the future I will. Just not something that I'm looking to get right now. And for you, those of you that might want to know, as far as overall length, it is a hair longer than the AD15.
That grinds way off back there. That's going to be a pain in the ass.
It's pretty much all in the handle. The blade is just a hair shorter than the AD15. Not much. The extra length on this one comes in the back of the
A few passes and blend.
So, really enjoy this. Really like it.
Focus on that area.
I definitely
Make
like
a
to try
few
one
and then
in
blend.
3V. Don't think there's anything wrong with 20 CV in this knife. However, given the design, I think the 3V fits the intended purpose of this knife much better than the 20 CV does. So, go ahead and set that to the side for a second. And Nick did send me some other stuff to test, and one of them is an older Wii, and the only marking on this entire blade is the D2 up here. This is an early Wii, back when these were in the $100 to $120 range. This is actually super comfortable in pretty much any grip in use.
Don't want to wear on
The
that
action's
feather
pretty good on
stone
it.
too much and get it way out of flat.
Like this one. There'll be a test on that one coming up. He did also send me his the 0640, and this is in 20 CV. Now, I know he's getting a regrind on this one. The only problem I have is this bevel you see right here is 20 degrees per side. So it's already getting thick. It's already getting thick.
So definitely some hard D2.
When this came, I
No doubt about
measured
that.
the angle when I first decided to sharpen it, and it was close to 22
We
degrees
are
per
almost
side.
there.
So I know he's getting a regrind. I may drop the bevel on this one a little bit and test it. I'm going to talk to him about it first. I do really like this knife. I'm not a huge ZT fan, it's no secret, but I do like the 620. I've used it some. I find it to be comfortable in pretty much any grip you can use it in. Of course, the outside, the action's not bad on it. I like it.
Kind of wish I would have took
And
the
he
silicone
also did
carbide
send
now.
me his Medford Proxima. And this one is in S35VN. Flips out great. It's got a nice hollow grind on it.
And
So there will
Not
be a
yet.
test on this one coming up.
you're right at it.
I did already run it. I know what it's capable of. So watch out for the Medford S35VN. The early Wii, possibly the TV, and the AD20. Did enjoy having this one. Like I said, you guys are the reasons why I'm not going to pick one up right this minute. I'm definitely not getting the smaller, less tempered, just because
Yeah, most people don't realize how wear resistant D2 actually is.
Because in any kind of grip like this, my fingers are definitely crowded together.
And we are in business. Let me be a little more critical of this side now.
Really nice, especially a 1/4 inch.
Make
So
sure I did actually.
that's all I have for this one. You guys have one?
I'm gonna work this side just a little bit more.
How you like it in use, how you think it compares to the AD15. Do you have the 20CV or the 3B version? And that's all I have. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.
I work that side heavily on the other side, so I want to keep it consistent.
Hey everybody, today I got some disassembly for you as well. First impression, slightly different version. This one is a full titanium. This one is a head construction. This is a full titanium Devco 9s in E20. And before we go any further, I want to talk real quick about the locking mechanism, because that's the new thing here, right? To unlock the knife, to open the knife, all you do is you pull the blade out.
Good, looking good, looking good.
Forward and locks the knife in place. To unlock the knife, you just pull back on the shark fin.
Alrighty, and now we're going to go over to the 220 grip.
This guy has been carried on a fair amount. He's been
Edge
carried
Pro
basically full
alumina
weight
stone.
a whole bunch of that time. This guy is more or less factory fresh.
These stones have seen a lot of use.
Just to see what the difference is, if anything, look like between the full titanium and otherwise. The centering was good, the action was good, no real concerns.
And I do mean a lot.
Pivot screw on this guy. Another way of looking at it.
These stones come at 6 millimeters, I believe.
And then it looks like
As you can see, they're about done for.
I'm sorry, D10 for the main D8 for
They're just really good stones.
back screws here. And by the way, I'm taking out these screws because the back ones are involved in it. So, take this guy apart. These are basically factory ready. Like I said, this one's got a day worth of
And you'll see, they leave such a nice track pattern.
From the Devco folks themselves.
All these stones were freshly lapped before sharpening.
This I unfortunately have sort of a flip-flop disassembly situation here. I'm going to use my selection top and back space. There we go. We got a tiny bit of movement there.
As you can see, they actually remove steel pretty quickly.
I mean, there are so many pins in this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, this is going to be tricky. So I have to listen very slightly.
My arm in the way. I gotta make me a mount this table. Holding me down like this, hunched over, killing my back too.
Go ahead and put those guys. By the way, if you're curious about any of the things I'm using on the channel for this assembly, go ahead and check out MakerBeds.com/. You'll see a full listing of everything I do during this or any other disassembly. Okay, so this will then give me arranging my screws before I took them off. One thing that is worth noting, I just noticed here is that the clip side screws are a little bit longer than the
That pattern looking good.
so, at least where the clip is involved. That makes sense given the hesitations to it, but still, that's one thing problematic. Didn't anticipate. Okay, okay. It appears that I did actually need to take off
Over to the
here
400.
get this guy apart, because now it's wanting to come loose. And again, that sort of makes sense. You want to have all of the movement on one side of the equation here. Okay. Side close. It is nice to have a smudger tool like this, because the smudgers are going to yeah, there we go. This is not going to injure the titanium.
And you'll see.
So it's good.
I'll tell you what, this is one pokey boy right here.
So you can see here that we've lifted out. It's okay. There we go. And we are basically there. Okay. So, let's go ahead and take a look at how this functions real quick. As we run up there. So this will give us a sort of a tutorial of
The nice thing about aluminum oxide is when it's a good quality stone, they leave such a nice,
so,
aggressive edge that's very, very keen. More so than diamond.
when this knife is closed, to open it, you pull it back like this. This gives the blade some room.
You know, diamond will give the aggression, but that, like,
Once the knife shuts again, this whole thing
very refined keenness, diamond's not that good at doing. And alumina, when it's on a good quality abrasive, is so good at that.
Everything is in alignment, so it can't really move up and down very much. And by the way, this whole thing is being tensioned by a spring, which I gather we're doing right here. Because this spring is going to
Split that burr.
There we are. Okay, so now when we unlock the knife, this way,
Mr. Nick Shabazz in the background, watching him take apart an 80-20.
Okay, so we're going to not have the spring position because that wasn't stellar. But okay, I'm going to NK, that's not going to fit. We are starting off with the knife in its closed position, and then when you unlock it, what it does here, and I'm simulating spring tension using my finger pressing this.
People really.
What seems to happen here is that this.
You see, they
is
cut.
forced
They
backwards.
cut pretty quick.
And at a certain point, oh, I see. At a certain point.
And remember, this is almost 62 HRC D2.
And we go into this little area here, which gives us the extra clearance, and then once we get past this point, everything slides back into place, and then hugs the bottom of the blade right there. So that's effectively a lock face. I think it's touching higher up there, but it doesn't seem to fit. And there appears to be a little bit of extra, basically, place in the system to account for wear over time. Interesting. Alright, and so basically this tension here, and then when you unlock the knife, you are pulling it back and allowing this to come up. Okay, so it's not that there's play in most of the
What's that bird resting for?
vertical movement when you pull it back. Okay, that's what I think. Alright, so that's how your shock lock works. It's connecting right down here, and then you close it, coming back down into here. It's pretty elegant. It's actually, in some ways of functioning, it's not so dissimilar from like a sliding bar
It's
sidewalk.
quite refined. The bird's pretty much refined away anyways, but any of that burr that's remaining, we're going to fatigue the burr, and it'll start to break, because this is pretty well done steel, it'll start to snap away on the stone. And that's exactly what you want.
Alright, and let's go ahead and lift off the blade here and clean everything out. One thing I do see inside of the very tight pocket is expensive everywhere. It goes out too. Is that there is a fair amount of like the sides of this, and it would make sense that this is a pocket for wear a little bit. It's getting sort of into place here. It's moving.
It's a step that I see a lot of people overlook, and they just go straight into edge leading deburring passes, and that really hurts the keenness that edge is going to have. Shearing that burr loose is not ideal. Working it, fatiguing that burr until it's breaking away on its own, that is ideal. That is going to give you your best edge quality. And for you, any of you guys that are new into sharpening, for God's sake, don't mirror polish your D2 knives. Don't do it. You absolutely kill the performance of them. Now we should basically be fully deburred on its own.
I'm used to Demco meaning, oh my God, hot use, that kind of thing. Bearings and all.
There should be basically no burr remaining on the edge. Yeah, the factory edge on this thing actually did a lot of cutting. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make hand-pulled, alternating lighter and lighter deburring passes, edge leading passes. This is just for any of those fragments that are hanging on to get them off.
Provides a backward stop as well.
Lighter and lighter pressure.
It's actually designed to be much better known than I think many people know, or at least people who are
Now, any of that remaining burr is getting, any of them remaining burr fragments are getting taken away as I'm doing this.
Well known for when he's the inventor of the triad lock. Triad lock, of course, he modified that lock.
Each pass I'm going lighter and lighter.
His marketing claim to say, at the very least, is that one of, if not the strongest lock in existence.
Okay. Now, we are going to take
It's okay. So, Demco is sort of
just a 9-micron straw
I've actually been a fan of Demco's one.
because I don't want to kill off any aggression in this edge by going with finer. So, we're going to spend 1 or 2 passes per side on this 9-micron diamond.
Sorts of stuff rather than like spelt sort of things that I know after my life, but it rhymes at every time. So one thing we do see is no bucking.
Overstropping is not your friend. The strop is your friend, very much so. Overstropping is not your friend. I don't care what anybody says. You can absolutely overstrop an edge. You strop it. And by doing so, you take away all your aggression. You polish off those micro serrations, and basically you end up with, the micro serrations with the stone cut in the edge. You wind up polishing those away. And what do you end up with? A slick edge. And especially on steels like D2 that are highly sensitive, they need that 2 structure to perform. you polish that away, and you literally
So now what I
absolutely kill that
install the
edge.
spring such that it will heat itself across the room yet again. Next time I make it. Or better still, such that go. Whoa there. Springy. Alright. The spring has been gotten. Let's go ahead and try this one more time, but this time hopefully without so much heating.
And sorry for getting quiet soon.
Yeah,
But yeah, basically, you know, you really kill the performance of your edge by
okay. Is that
overstropping it. You know, if you're just looking for, you know, a slick, very sharp edge, then, you know, it's okay. You're overstropping it, it's going to give you what you're looking for. But if you care about biting your edge, which if you're somebody who really uses your knife, you care about the bite, because it's the bite that makes the knife cut well and perform. Alright, let's check this edge out. Clean it off quick. Should have an extremely aggressive 400 edge. It's also absolutely hair popping. We'll take a peek at it under the microscope too. Woo. Can I cut myself?
Cases, for instance, like having those separated is a good thing. In case the clip is kind of intuitive, right? That you have a longest from a certain position. So much
cut easily.
Just to see basically what the internal differences are. I don't expect there to be many, but nonetheless.
And I'm about at arm here, but
Given that I got both of these models, I figured, why not, right? Okay, so now let's go ahead and drop on this here. This is the shortest of them. It's up here. Anyway. Okay, good. Now we
so yeah, absolutely hair popping, but yes, super aggressive. Oh yeah, super aggressive. Let's get the microscope out.
looks like you could probably, they might be able to take a left side clip for it. There's not any special milling or anything like that. Where the clip goes. Different shape piece of metal, so I didn't do this to them, but you might ask. Or the sinister persuasion. It seems like it would be too hard to make this guy, right? Because otherwise we'll be
Okay.
now, good, now we get to pivot. Or speed and this had some red lock on stock. This is officially the coolest place I've ever been.
As you can see, damn it. Hold on, let me clean that edge off.
It's a little thicker.
We knew this was our home when we broke ground with the pickaxe and sparked
As
the
you can
internal
see,
fire
very,
that
very,
burned
very
the
consistent.
What happens if it rains?
Steel burns.
That's what you're going to get from...
Steel burns.
Actually, you know what? Let's try it this way. There we go. That's a much better image.
Filled a little gas. Wonder what would happen if Alright, Jack. Y'all save up for a really big one.
Really nice 400 grit scratch pattern.
Our grandmaster meditates here alone every night. When the light of the moon dances upon the peacocks.
Trying to get you out. There we go. That's a better image.
Around night.